how do we continue to build faith or even start building faith? And then Krishna answers that on text 41. Those doubts, that person who acts in devotional service, the Sanskrit is yoga, connection, right? Connecting your works to something higher, right? Renouncing the fruits of his actions, wherever you are, whatever level that is, right? And whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge. And so we hear that by cultivating knowledge, that's the only way we can actually destroy those doubts. And we don't hear from Krishna that it's something that, oh, you should just give up your doubts, or you should just have faith. You know, it's saying by transcendental knowledge. It's like, how amazing is that? It's such a complete package.
Or if you don't have faith, you're going to go to hell forever.
Exactly.
You don't hear Krishna,
Yeah.
right?
Right. It's just giving us a formula of how we can develop that faith, how we can get started. And if you're halfway there, how we can continue to the end, how to maintain, keep yourself in this process. I think it's really easy, relatively easy, to come to something like this, to this tradition, for example. But it's much harder to stay in it, right? And so this formula, I think, applies to the beginner, to the intermediate, and to the advanced practitioner, that we should always be investing whatever amount of faith we have in cultivating transcendental knowledge, because that knowledge will protect us from making sentimental choices, right? Blind faith choices or blind doubt choices. And we could be like, the greatest thing you gain, you're going to miss out on that, or you could make the worst decision of your whole life and regret it for many lifetimes, just by not taking the time to do your due diligence, right? We talk about this in material life. Do your due diligence before you open up business, or before you invest, or before you get to know somebody, before you marry somebody, anything like that. Big choices require a little bit of, not a little bit, a lot of research and information, and for you to step into that lab and try it out. And so here, Krishna's saying, you know, those doubts will be destroyed by the cultivation of not just any knowledge. It's not like, oh, you just go to college and then those big doubts of life are going to be resolved. We've all been there. My doubts were not resolved until I came across the Bhagavad Gita and the community of people that live it. That's when I realized, oh, what death is really about, who I really am, what I'm supposed to be doing with my time and efforts. And those big questions in life were actually answered through transcendental knowledge, not just any knowledge, right? And then that person is situated factually in the self, in knowing who they are really, besides the name, the nationality, the gender, the social status, the economic status, the Instagram followers, their influencer status, etc. Thus, he is not bound by the reactions of work. So if somebody can check these boxes, or at least have those as the goals in life, then this person will surely still be able to work in this world, but not be bound by the reactions. He's going to be transcendental. And I think I want to correct myself now, because earlier I had said, you know, we're in this world, but we want to go there. And I think this really corrects that. It's not that we want to go there. We can be there here. And I think this is a huge point that at least I'm still getting used to. After a decade of studying, I still fall into that trap of thinking I want to go there. Like that's my goal. No, that goal is here. Why? Because I'm a spiritual being, and by chanting the holy names, Krishna's names, God's names, and whatever other tradition you follow, but in chanting we connect with who we truly are and with that source of everything, so we can actually be transcendental without having to die, without having to renounce our family, without having to renounce our work, without having to be this like extremist person that's going to go kill everybody else because that's the only way to get to heaven, you know? And so it's really like a practical way. So I wanted to correct myself for that, because in this verse, really, like Krishna says, you can be in this world and not be bound by the reactions of that labor.